The carriage rocked as Byron climbed in, and after seating himself across from her, he put his hand out the window to seize hobhouses. With a lurch, the carriage set off, but Byron would not release his friend's hand, so Hobhouse ran alongside the carriage as it moved down the drive. Just as Annabella was about to urge Byron to let go, their grasp was broken, and Byron sank back into his seat, disconsolate.
Lesson 10. Telling time.
Mortified by his profound
If you've
lack of
forgotten
joy,
your numbers,
Annabella
you may
turned
want
her
to go
gaze
back
to the
and
window,
review before
where
we
heavy
begin
flakes
our
were
lesson on
falling
telling
thick
time.
and fast,
To ask what
obscuring
time
the
it is,
landscape.
ask
As they passed through the town of Durham, a few miles west of home, the rich, glorious bells of the Durham Cathedral rang out in celebration and greeting.
Midnight. 4 o'clock.
Ringing for our happiness, I suppose, said Byron.
It's 1
his
o'clock.
voice acid. They were the first words he had spoken since he had climbed into the carriage.
It's 2 o'clock. So
They surely are, said Annabella. The people know which carriage to watch for.
It's 3:30.
He fixed her with a malignant stare. You do understand that I
It's
married
4
you
o'clock.
only because I must marry someone,
fishing.
and you have a fortune. Her heart
It's 5:45.
but she kept her voice even. I hope my fortune was only one of many appealing
It's
virtues.
7:03.
Virtue. Yes, you are the very viceroy of virtue. The princess of parallelograms.
The movie starts at
He peeled off
9:30.
his gloves, clenched them in a fist, and slapped them against his knee. If you had married me when I first asked 2 years ago, you might have saved me. You could have molded me into a paragon of righteousness in your own image. Now, he shook his head, frowning. Those 2 years have ruined me. Ruined
Here are some other
you? She
time
exclaimed,
expressions that will be
shocked.
helpful.
How so?
Morning.
You've never been more successful, or, I dare say, more beloved.
Afternoon.
It is enough that they have, and it's all your fault for refusing me. I didn't believe your first proposal was in earnest, and I felt differently then.
Night.
She couldn't bring herself to mention Lady Caroline Lamb or her dire warnings,
Today.
for after they were engaged, Byron had confessed, or perhaps boasted was a better word for it, that he and her cousin's wife had been lovers, explaining too late William's reluctance to introduce her to Byron.
Now.
What does that matter now? I did accept. We are now married. We love each other. We most assuredly do not. For a moment, she couldn't breathe. Don't be unkind. Not today.
Lesson
Don't fall
11.
into one of your dark moods.
It's hard to get by without knowing the specific expressions
He
that
fixed
you
her
would
with a look
learn.
of bleak despair.
Let's start with.
I'm afraid you'll soon discover that you've married a devil. She clasped her hands together beneath her cap and held herself as still as marble. I don't believe it, despite your devilish
Forget
behavior,
about the mirror.
which I blame on the excitement of the day and shall forgive. Surely you haven't forgotten that I did offer to release you from your engagement. You have no one but yourself to blame for your current predicament.
I'd like to
He
change
barked out a laugh, and for the rest of the 40-mile journey, he shifted between brooding in silence, muttering caustic remarks, and wildly singing Albanian folk songs he had learned on his travels. She replied with cool, reproachful glances, knowing that
I'd like that
she
small
said
bit.
would only inflame his temper. At last, they turned onto the road to Hornby Hall. A thick blanket of snow covered the grounds, and the carriage slowed as the driver steered around and pushed through the drifts. As they approached the house, Annabella's spirits rose to glimpse lights shining in the windows through the false twilight of the street. In front of the house, all of her parents' servants and tenants had lined up to greet them. She had known most of them since she was a girl, and their faces, proud and cheerful and full of expectation, warmed her heart. Byron tore open the door, jumped down, and strode into the house without a word for anyone. Shocked, Annabella composed herself and waited for the footman to help her descend. Fighting to conceal her dismay, she made her way down the receiving line alone, forcing a pleasant smile through her tears and thanking each servant and tenant for the kind welcome. With a grateful cry, she embraced Jane Minns, a girl from the local farm with whom she had come to give her a run, a newlywed herself and trusted confidant, who served as her lady's maid whenever Annabella resided at home. When she came to Mrs. Milligan just outside the front door, she asked the unflappable housekeeper to prepare dinner, and sighed in relief to hear that it was nearly ready and would be served within the hour. Crossing the threshold alone, she removed her cape, wiped the snow from her shoes, and followed her husband's wet footprints through the foyer until they faded down a corridor. The door to the drawing room stood open, so she peered inside and discovered Byron pouring himself a brandy. "Dinner will be served soon. I'm sure you must be famished." As for myself, I had no appetite. My mother instructed the housekeeper to prepare the master suite for us to share. I hope that pleases you. He shrugged and gulped his brandy. "I've always preferred to sleep alone, as one of my dogs. But do as you please. One animal is as good as another, as long as she's human." Annabella took a deep, shaky breath. "I can't imagine what you've done to offend you, but this is my wedding day. Please, if you can't be affectionate, at least be civil." His eyebrows rose. "Affectionate?" He set down his glass and extended his hand to her. "Will affection appease you?" "I can be affectionate. Close the door and come here." She took his hand, and before she had quite figured out his intentions, they quickly consummated the marriage on the couch. The act gave her only a little of the pain her mother had warned her about, and some of the pleasure Annabella had anticipated, so it was not unpleasant. Afterward, as she lay in his embrace and he kissed her brow and fondly called her his dear philosopher wife, she dared hope that after the initial shock of their irrevocable vows faded, he might become content.